No, boys. I want to stay in London for a minute. Arsenal Football Club, of course, they called their interest on Yuri Tillemans, put all their eggs into the baskets of Lisandro Martinez and Rafinha. Now, those deals, unfortunately, brilliant, valiant effort from Arsenal. They went after two players that didn't want to play at their football clubs. And they know how...
Why are you giggling away? You're right there, mate. What are you giggling away for?
they haven't been successful. They're now looking at Zinchenko to come in. Personal terms are said to not be a problem. What are you saying, Colleen? Are you excited? You missed out on your number one target in Lisandro Martinez to come into your back line. Is Zinchenko a good alternative? Where's your head at with that?
I mean, we were linked with Zinchenko like even before the transfer window opened. To be honest, from an Arsenal perspective, in terms of what we need, in terms of being able to play a versatile player, can play at left back, potentially can come into defensive mid, worked with Arteta, it makes sense, right? It seems like a very smart signing for what Arsenal need. In terms of how this actually plays out in an actual Arteta system and how often he's going to play, because from an Arsenal fan perspective, if he's going to predominantly come in for to challenge Tierney for the left back position, he's going to be getting 50% of the games period because Tierney just can't keep himself fit. However, if Arteta has another view for him, because he is this versatile player, because I don't know what goes through that nutcase's head sometimes, he might put him through and get him to challenge, or it could also be that kind of, oh yeah, it's our left back and midfield kind of defensive signing that we also need. So I like the sign-in. I still think we need to see some more in those kind of defensive areas, especially if we're just utilizing him as overall defensive cover on that left side and as a defensive mid. But it's a good start. I'm not hating it. I'm not hating it. Why is your face like that?
Did you say defensive mid for Zinchenko?
I'm not saying he's a defensive midfielder. I'm saying he can't play there. But I'm saying
no, he can't.
He can, Kaz.
He's a centre mid. He can play centre mid. He's a centre mid, not a DM, bro. He's not a DM, man. He can play centre mid. He does it for Ukraine. I get it. And I wouldn't be surprised if my man said to him, Arteta said, you know what, I'm going to use you. I'm going to play in your preferred position in centre mid more than left back, if anything. But at the same time, it's a great... I'm not joking. It's better that you went for him rather than Martinez. I don't know why people think Martinez is a left back, honestly. But
I think it suits our needs better, to be honest with you. But I don't want to assess that signing until I see what we do in the overall midfield because of how versatile he is. And I don't really trust Edu and Arteta when it comes to the overall signings in terms of every single profile that we need or that we expect him to get done in this transfer window being done. But I agree. I think he's better for us than Martinez. But I still would have liked Martinez at the club. It's not because we're not going in for him anymore. We're like, oh, well, Zinchenko is better. I still would have wanted Martinez. He's still good. But like when I say centre DM, I'm saying like centre mid, CDM. It's because I know Arteta wants someone that versatile where he can plop them around everywhere. It doesn't mean that he's good there or it's an ideal position, but knowing this, we had Xhaka at left back. Like
you might have just started the Ukrainian Milner. You're just getting a Ukrainian Milner.
That's it. That's
like, do you know what's killing me about this though? Do you know what's killing me about this? Remember when we had that 2 or 3 years where everyone was saying, "Oh, Man City's B team could go and win the league." I think that's Arsenal's transfer policy. Let's go buy all their B team players now and see where it takes us. Like you've got Jesus, who was a backup striker in a team that didn't have a striker. I don't think he's going to work out very well. And Zinchenko, I don't see the point. Like go out and get a left back because all you're going to run in with Zinchenko is you're now sitting there with Zinchenko. You're in the exact same situation we were in 2021. And this was the infamous depth charts with Liverpool. You sit there and you put one player in 3 different positions. And then it gets to a point in the season where you need them in 2 different positions at the same time because you've relied on them for 3 separate ones. If you get into a situation next year where Kieran Tierney's out injured and your centre mid's out injured, what do you do then? Because your backup left back's also your backup centre mid. So you're now weak in one position. If you're going to get Zinchenko, you have to get him for one position and one position only.
I agree with your sentence in terms of that I still want to see what more comes in. That's hence why I said I still want to see some more midfield signings. However, your Jesus take. Tom, come on.
He was a backup striker for a team that didn't have a striker.
You want Tielemans?
Quality. quality.
Do you know what? Wait, I just want to add on that. Yeah, Tom, I have to say you're wrong. Like every team needs a utility player, players that can play in 3 to 4 multiple positions. Yes, I do. If you pay 40+ million for him, then City are bending you guys over backwards, like, and that's crazy. You shouldn't be paying too much for him, but he's still a very good player, and he does specialize at left back. But he prefers to play upfield. He prefers, but Pep uses him as a left back because that's where his best position.
Wait, one second. Did you say bend over back 40 minutes for Zinchenko? A guy that's won 4 titles, bro, and probably played multiple times at left back.
Player.
Bro, I don't get this. Look, I'm a United fan, innit? I don't want to come on a City defense or anything like that. But another player that's underrated is Zinchenko, bro. He's reliable. He's always fit. He gives his all. He actually, you know what? He actually said he wanted to stay and fight for his position at City, and he still comes out and says that today. Why would you not want a leader, a guy who's Ukraine's captain, in your team? That's another leader that Arsenal could do with in that back line. Someone's going to be vocal, someone that knows how to win. I think that, again, that's another. But you're right, though. Why would you not want a guy that can play multiple positions? They got enough centre mids. I'm sure they'll be all right. You're just hating. You need a centre mid, bro. You need Zinchenko.
I do not. I'm not touching Zinchenko with a 10-foot barge pole. Come off it.
Versatility is definitely important. I am starting to listen. I know how this has been spun in the media. Like that, you know, they wanted Martinez at left back, and every Ajax fan I've spoken to is like, I don't get why he was awful at left back. He was average at DM. Like, there's a couple of good games, but didn't do very well. One Ajax fan broke it down to me last night. He said he played a handful of games, got dropped at left back. They moved him into DM, played a handful of games, got dropped, then got moved into centre back, and it was like, oh God, look how good he is there. I get the versatility that he can cover in those positions every now and then. Same with Zinchenko. I think he could do a job for a few games in the middle, a job elsewhere, but he is a left back. You actually break down his career. In his entire career, he's played 25 games in midfield. In his entire career, he's 25 years of age. It's not a lot. It's not very much. So I think that, again, and if you drop 40-odd million on him, that's first team player, in my opinion. Grimaldo, you're looking at 7 million. I can see that as a backup. No one drops 40, 50, 60 million pound. And when people say backup, you're talking about someone that probably isn't good enough to make it into your first team. If you spend 40 million on him, he will oust. He's better than Kieran Tierney overall. And the biggest reason for him being better overall is that availability. Like, he's just fit. He's just, I'm plagiarizing Daniel there. Availability is the best ability. But it's true. I think it's a tremendous bit of business. And I'll tell you why it's a tremendous bit of business. For what supposedly, and I'm just going to go with the Arsenal fan theory that they were going to play Martinez at left back. I'm just going to go with that. I can't be bothered to fight back against it anymore. You're much better off with Zinchenko than you were Lisandro Martinez, because Lisandro Martinez isn't a very good left back. Like, this guy Zinchenko is. So you getting rejected by Martinez, it can end up working out better for you. I think it's a much better fit. If you actually look at the profile, the heat map, statistics, the positions that Zinchenko and Grimaldo take up compared to Lisandro, even when Lisandro is playing at left back, they're very different profiles of players. So I'm still intrigued about what Arsenal are going to do.